is take that 270 and
So is
type
it?
on the 220. See the 220 in the yellow right above it?
Yes.
Just type 270.
To type 270? But
Yep.
hold on. But 270, that's a plug number. It's just, there is no formula. That's a number.
Oh, what's on the one above it? 220. What's above it?
220,
Click
that's
on
a
the-
formula.
Okay, that's the formula. All right, so instead of the 270, you should click 220.
To put it here?
Yep. And so now that will tell you what the enrollment is for the upper one. So
Okay.
over here, where it says lower grades,
Hold on. Where is this low? Over here?
yep, then you can enter. Now, what you could probably do right now to fix this is just set this one equal to
Yeah, I got it.
the 220 that's below it. Yeah, no, that's a good one. And then that one, make that equal to that one.
Right?
Actually, no. The 220 that you have under column T,
And the column.
make that equal to the 220 you typed. And here's why.
Okay.
Because let's say that instead of coming out to 220, it came to 223. So we round to the closest 5. So if that number came just up above, it doesn't matter. Click on the 550, put in 560 and see what happens.
Okay. 560?
Yep. All right, see you got 224?
Yes.
Now you would, instead of 220, you'd type 225 because you would round to the closest
Okay.
5.
Okay, one sec. Let me write it down. Okay. I see.
And then the one below it will just calculate the remaining number to the closest 5 because the enrollment will always be rounded to the closest 5.
Got it. Okay.
So you've already updated over here. So once you plug in here, the 560 is just equal to the sum below it. Now we have completed the guidelines where we've split the enrollment appropriately. Okay. So what improvement you could do on the spreadsheet if you wanted to, it's totally up to you, is this information that's here on the right. You could put that at the top of the spreadsheet so you don't have to go down to the right-hand column. And then maybe this is a tool we can share with people. Maybe we don't. Mary wants to use it sometimes. And so you could add some rows to the top and put in these calculations we just did where you have the grades K through 6. You plug in the 1. You don't have to do it today, but you could enhance the spreadsheet. So
you mean over here, somewhere here? Oops, somewhere over here?
Yeah, that would be perfect because then it would be right at the top. When you open the spreadsheet, you don't have to scroll down to the lower column.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know if this also, but
that stuff probably doesn't matter. It was probably just something I was looking at to do a one-time calc when I first made it.
Okay, but this. Okay, let me write it down. Okay, 1 second.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you could enhance it a little bit by putting directions. Enter a 1 for applicable grades. Stuff like that. Because Mary did make a comment to me. I hate the new space summary because I can't quickly put in a number and then figure out what the spaces are. And so what we'll do is when we have this set with instructions, you can share it with her and say, hey, CC me. John said this might be helpful for you. It's an update to Autumn's spreadsheet. Here's how you use it.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So let's go on and then you can improve the spreadsheet later, but let's go through and do an enrollment.
Yes. Okay, so that's that. That's done. Okay, now. So
Scroll to the top.
yes.
So what that has done is it's completed these columns.
I added this similarly
Yep.
to the middle school, but anyway, yeah. So
that's a good one. Keep the base gross square foot up there. Yep. So you know that you'll now enter the largest. So what do we have? We have, I think this turns out to be a 5-section school, but let's do the math.
So let's say I enter here 550. And
well, you can't do that anymore.
I cannot. Okay.
No, because we have to split the enrollment.
Okay, so walk me through. Okay.
So we just did this little exercise on the right-hand side.
Yes.
Now, what you might want to do is take that thing at the bottom and make it equal to the 550 here so you can confirm you're looking at the right enrollment. So you don't enter it at the top. You're going to enter the 220 and the 230 later once you update over there by under columns X, Y, and Z. But here you might just make that one equal to, or when you redo the update, you'll just make it a little cleaner where you show the lower, the upper, and then you can show the largest enrollment. So when you put it in, it provides a good check because you know in your head, all right, I got 550. You entered the stuff. If it doesn't come out and equal 550,
okay,
you know
you
got
John.
a problem somewhere.
So I don't understand why you said here I'm not entering 550. The largest enrollment is still 550, correct?
It is, but it won't do anything for you adding it there.
Okay.
Because the whole point of adding that enrollment is to get the guidelines column to populate.
Yes.
In order to do that with the elementary school enrollment, you have to enter the enrollment for the lower grades and the enrollment for the higher grades.
Okay,
so just entering 550 doesn't do anything for you.
Okay.
In this particular case, you have to enter, I think it's 230 and 220. Or 220 and 230.
Yeah, so it is already here.
Yeah, because we entered it in column Z.
Yes.
So you can't just enter one number when you're doing an elementary. You have to go through this little template we just made so that you can fill out the upper and the lower.
Okay. Okay, so what's my next step?
So the next step is we have 550 for a K to 1. How many sections is it? And so this is the template is. Oh, so yeah, you could correct it here. I haven't used this in a while. So we'd have to add ones to 1, 2.
Yeah. So that's that.
So it gives you 5 grades.
That's the 5 grades.
Yep. And the way I do it, well, let's look at here, lower elementary. See these lower elementary numbers? Something's not feeding through, so we haven't connected the formulas.
Okay.
Because the lower elementary wouldn't be 398, so we'll need to clean this up.
Yeah. Okay.
So click on those sections where it says 0.
It is Q36. So sections. So Q, it fits from 36. That's here, from this cell.
Okay.
Now this one is Q34 divided by Q35. So that's estimated, I don't know what, ST grade per grade, students per
Estimated students per grade.
Over students per grade.
Yeah. Students per classroom.
Per classroom.
So what you can do here is you can take the total enrollment.
Okay.
So you have to have that estimated students per grade. You know, I'm wondering, go back at the top. Click on S1, make it equal to the total enrollment from down below.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking to do that. Okay.
Now it filled out.
Yes.
So what it did here is it has, but this calculation of lower elementary and upper elementary is off.
Okay. Yeah.
What we could do is, because we figured that out down
wait a
below,
sec,
is just
because-
have it equal to what's down below.
So 1 second. So that was just a plug number. I don't know. Maybe I screwed up something, John. I can't remember.
Oh, no worries. So
But-
this is what we're doing. So
Look, so lower elementary is 220, giving 220. Is it correct? Yes. Lower elementary, 220. Right?
yeah, because it's the same formula as below.
And then I copy and put it here, correct? I just copied, placed values here,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, so this gets back to, so I must have been, we're doing the same calculation in two ways.
Yeah.
We're doing it down below, but if you want to do it here, we could do all the calculations right here.
Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that it repeats. So
what we could do is I might have had them down there and I started updating them up here and then got interrupted and didn't get back to it, which
Okay.
is a challenge with a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff I try to do.
right. So why don't we do it here? Because it's cleaner to have the same thing. Like in middle school, I understood perfectly what you did. You know how you.
Yeah,
did
let's
it
do the
here.
same thing. So do you want to go through and set that up or do you want to do it
Yeah.
now?
No, I'd like to do it now.
Okay.
So, because I was not getting the same, I tried to follow your instructions in middle school
Yep.
and I was not getting correct numbers. So let me try to remember. So let's see how I would do it, right? I plugged number here, right? Now it gave
Well,
me,
no, you can't plug the number at the top.
No.
The first number you have to plug in is down here where you identify the grades.
over here. Okay.
Oh, I guess you could plug it in there
No,
and then
but-
go there, but we're going to take all these calculations and move them
Yeah.
up here, right?
John, but it seems to me that it's doing the same thing. So what if we
Yep.
just forget about what's bottom right? Let's try
Yep.
to do it through here. And you'll tell me
Yep, so
where
plug
it's
in the
wrong.
make that 550 a
So
plug-in.
let's say start with here, 550, like you did in middle
Yep.
school. Now
Yep.
this comes here, that cell, see, it equals to this one. And
Yep.
then it makes calculations. So once you plugged in 550 here, and then
Yep.
I did the correct configuration, 1 through 5.
Yep.
Okay. Then it gave me number for the lower elementary school, 220. It calculated, right?
Yep.
You see that, correct. Then I copied this number here as a number, 220.
Yep, now if
And-
it's like 221, you'd type in 220, so you'd round to 5. That's where you would round to 5. So let's imagine that they came out to 224, like the example we did.
Yes.
Then you would type in your assumed. So it gives you the calculated.
I
and then
see.
exactly, you got this exactly right. There you
I
type
see.
in, it's the same number, but you would round that to 5.
Now hold on. You would round always up, right? You round up,
Nope.
correct? No.
Now if it's 221, I'd go to 220. I would just round it.
Round.
Because whatever you don't put there drops in down below.
I see. Okay. But anyway, got it. So that's important step. And then it
Yep.
gave us the leftover for upper. Right?
Yep,
So
perfect.
that's it. Then this is all calculation. Estimated students per grade 110.
Yep.
Then students per classroom 23.
Yep.
And we got 4.78 sections, so we assumed 5.
Correct.
Now, I want where we have to plug numbers. No
All right,
formula,
so
I just
then you
want
go
to
back
highlight.
up here. So then scroll back up.
Scroll back up.
So we know we have 5 sections. So if you have 5 sections
Okay,
and you have 5 grades, right? For general classrooms, you're going to plug in under N11 or 10. You see the 21 right below the 8?
and
You see the 21?
yes,
That's general classrooms. Oh, that's kindergarten classrooms. So you're going to plug 0, right?
1 sec. So this 21, that's kindergarten.
and we have no kindergarten in this school, so we'd plug in 0.
Ah,
And then there we'd plug in 5 times 5, so we'd plug in 25 general classrooms. Now, when it comes to STE rooms, they get 1 for each 400 students that are in the lower elementary.
hold on.
So the lower elementary is below 400, it's 220, so they get 1.
1 second. So STE rooms, grade 3 to 6.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, upper elementary, correct, upper elementary.
So STE rooms, we have to figure out grades 3 to 6. What the guidelines you said?
So for STE rooms for upper elementary, the students get basically 1 room for every 400 students. It's designed around students going to the STE room twice a week. And 400 is close enough. So if the upper enrollment, which the upper enrollment here is 330, they'd get 1.
I see.
So you just plug it in. Just
Got it,
1.
got it.
And then that one, the 120, you should make that cell equal to the one above it. Because you always get 1
storage.
STE storage per STE room. So that
Okay.
equals that.
Hold on.
And so those 3 yellow things are the ones you have to fill in. And so the K, you see the pre-K? There is no pre-K.
Right.
So where it says 8, you got to make that 0.
I see. Okay, so so these numbers in yellow, I just want to know, so that these are that I have to update.
Well, the bottom one, you should make that unyellow because it's always going to equal the cell above it.
Yeah, you're right.
The one next to the 120.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
And so there it is. So that's what you plug in when you're estimating in elementary school.
I see.
And all these calculations we did should help you get to the number of section classrooms. Because you see, when you look at the template, it's kicking back 4 kindergarten rooms, but we don't have any kindergarten. And it's kicking back 21 classrooms, but that's based on a K to 6.
Okay.
And we're not going to change the template. You'd have to do something like we're doing, but we're not going to. And so it looks like you've recreated this template in the middle, which is better. We can delete that stuff in the bottom. Now, what you'll have to do is down below, here under column T, instead of having it equal to the stuff on the right, you're going to have it equal the cells up above.
Yes, yes. Okay.
There you go. Now you can delete all this other stuff over on the right, and this is already way easier to use.
Yes, I like that.
All of it. You can delete all of that stuff. You see where it says at Colgrove? I must have been doing calculations for
Okay.
North Adams School when I pulled this up last time.
So all that, right?
All that can go.
That's nice. Okay. Now I understand why I was getting much higher numbers.
And so then down here you have the gross. Right now this is saying the gross is 80,086. Go up above.
1 second. Gross. So this is, I think, 86. No? What is 86?
Yep, that's the one. That's the gross floor area that we want to account for.
No, I think this is net.
No, the net is up above. It's 57,391.
Oh, this is gross. So I don't need, see, in the middle school, you told me to multiply by 1.5. So 1 sec. So middle school net. Oh, okay. So this is a little different. Got it. So this is net.
Hold on, though. That's an important point. If you look on the right-hand side, I just deleted it in the on the middle school. You see how there's no grossing factor and it only shows the net?
Yes.
That's why we're multiplying it by 1.5 up above.
Right,
If you want to multiply it by 1.5, you got to go to the net in the elementary. You don't.
Yeah. So 1 second. So this is net. Now, John, so that's the number you're taking, not this number, correct? Not,
Correct. And so
Okay.
why do you think we're going with the one that's in column G and not the one in the guidelines?
Well, I guess now I understand that that's what's the estimated. This is just the guidelines, but this is what we're estimating, updating.
Correct. And so the thing we're picking up when we estimate in an elementary school, we're adding an STE room because that's not included in the summation in the guidelines. And the reason for that is if you put it in the guidelines, then everyone would automatically want it. And they all want it anyways because it's extra space. Oh, no, that's not true. They feel like they're leaving space on the table if they don't take it. But the task force that worked on it said, as the state agency, we'll pay for this room if you demonstrate you will staff it and develop the curriculum to use it properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't a given. It was, if you tell us how you're going to use it, we'll pay for it. But you have to convince us that you're actually going to build it and use it. You don't just get it automatically. The other thing is, when we do what we're doing under columns M, N, and O, we are accounting for the number of classrooms per grade.
Yeah.
And we are also counting for an elementary school that is not a K-6.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So that's estimated. Now, let me just...
There's one other check you have to do.
This is gross. Okay.
Yep, so you can just have it equal up above.
And, yeah. And this equals to that.
Yep.
And just to check, so this should be, yeah, that's correct. This times the grossing factor. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's one other check.
Okay.
Is go down to the gym.
Gym. Okay, so gym.
So you can see here in the gym, we have 6,300 and it's just equal to that.
63. Yes.
So click on O28. Yep. That just equals T28.
Right.
What you ought to do is have it equal, let's redo that formula on O28. Have it equal T28 plus
T28, yes,
yep, plus the cell right below it.
Plus,
not that one. The one under O. Not T29, O29.
Okay. Oh, equals this.
T28 plus T29.
Plus T.
29. No, O29. I'm sorry. O29.
Okay.
Now, if you have an elementary school enrollment that is greater than 800, you add 3,000 right there.
Okay, one sec. If enrollment, 1 second. Round number, wow, the nearest 5. That belongs to, why I have it here? Oh, that belongs to this.
Yep.
That belongs to this comment. Okay. Now, so you have here 6,000 square feet minimum size gym.
Correct. So for an elementary school, when we're estimating up to an enrollment of 800, we pay for 6,000 square feet, which equals 2 stations.
Enrollment of up to 800.
Yep.
We pay for 6,000 square feet, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if the enrollment is 800 or higher, or above 800, we very rarely get it.
Okay. We add
3,000 square feet. So we give them another gym station.
And you would want to add 3,000 over here in
Yep, so make that yellow.
29?
Yep. I
see. Ah, okay. So 1 sec. So you know what? Let me make it more clear for myself. Control
Yep.
C. Okay. And this.
Yep.
Okay, so now this is very clear.
Excellent. So we don't have too many schools with an elementary over 800, but we do have a couple, and Hopkinton is going to be over 800. So when we do our Hopkinton, there'll be an additional 3,000 square feet there.
Got it.
So let's go through and check it. So it's a 5-section school. It's 1 to 5. We have 25 general classrooms. Their grades 3 through 6 are not more than 400. So we will have one STE space.
Hold on. Grades 1 through 5.
Yep.
Yeah. 220, 330. 3
Yeah.
to 6. Okay. And you were checking this, right? So you're going through this.
Go through and do a check so we know we're good there. Now, if you want to, you can delete columns C through L. Do that later. You can clean the spreadsheet up later.
Okay. Why you want to delete? Hold on. C. Oh. Through
Because
L.
they're just in the way.
Awesome. Okay, got it. Yeah. John, you're going too fast for me. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, got it. Okay.
And so you've updated the template, and now you know that for Dedham, for this school, we're proposing 86,086.
Okay. So 1 second. Sorry, I'll put it away. But I see you can see it, but I see. I see that. Okay, so I go to Dedham, Oakdale, and for 550 enrollment, we plug 86086.
Yep, boom, that's updated for enrollment.
Yes.
Now, if you go to the summary table, that should now show up as enrollment instead of BM.
Yeah, 1 sec. So I forgot, of course. So 1 sec. So I have to change it here. BM to enrollment.
Yep.
Okay, and then I go to report.
Yep.
And where is our Dedham?
Dedham's probably down below. It's in fiscal year 24.
Oh, okay. Dedham. Okay, and it is enrollment here. Now, John, so just a quick question. I was reading something. I forgot in what case when you delete or something, I mean, did we have a case so far? You just explained to me, I just highlight in yellow those that I've done.
Yep. Those ones that, so what you've done is
those that move from year to year, right?
Correct. It's only those where you do the strikeout. And so let's use Brookline. So in July, when I made the start of the fiscal year chart, I was estimating that Brookline Pierce would receive a grant in fiscal year 22.
Right.
So I included it here. They've updated their schedule. We found out they've actually moved to fiscal year 23, but I want to signal to Mary they were actually here in the beginning of the year, but they moved.
Okay.
And so that's why we use this clunky method where we do the scratch out. But you see under column F, I overwrote the formula in column F.
Yeah.
Made it 0.
Yeah. I think, you're right. I have to read it again. You have it in the instructions. Now, okay. So, how do you know when it's moved, where you move from fiscal year to fiscal, when is it updated, by what mechanism it is updated?
Well, you'll pick that update at a board cycle, but they may change their schedule at any time, just like on the CA team. So as soon as we get an OPM report that has an updated schedule and it says, hey, the PM reads their OPM monthly reports and it shows an updated schedule, they let me know and say, hey, Brookline has just updated their schedule. It moves it to a new fiscal year. And then that's usually when I'm doing it. I don't wait to the next board update. When I get that thing and I notice, I just go in right there. I take the 5 minutes, add the new column, just take care of it right then.
Okay, so
the other thing you could do is just make a list. I mean, you could add a little spreadsheet here where you just, anytime you hear something, or just a notepad where you just say, I have to update Brookline because their schedule moved. And then when you go in to do this work with a whole bunch of other stuff, you could do it at that time. Like enrollments happen whenever.
Right.
So it's a management decision you have to make. Am I going to make a list and then do all this work at once? Or am I going to put it on my daily task and when I have time later today, take care of it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe you point to me when we have this first case of the update, you'll tell me so that I visually understand it better.
I'm going to be CCing you like I did on this other stuff that impacts the cap management report, like that thing about Lawrence, but I'll be clear, I'll say this impacts the cap count, this and I'll put in the email and then forward it to you.
Yeah. Okay, so DADM is done.
Yep. So you've got this figured out, so go ahead and do the other enrollments. Now let's shift gears. I got to get on to something else in a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But what I'd like to do is go to the cap management report to the audit savings, because I think I want to see that update.
Right. I have it opened. So audit savings, I know I opened that from Mike.
Yep.
1 second, where is it? Is it here? No, 1 second, where I have it. John, so what I'll do is I'll try to do the rest of elementary schools myself, but I'll save the estimators. And so that you can check, because I want you at least first few times to check that,
Definitely.
Okay.
Now, if you want to make a new folder, and you could just save a copy into that folder, and we'll save all of them. And then if you'd like to, for the first half dozen or so, or through the rest of this year, I can go in and sign off. So what we don't have is a quality assurance process with this yet.
Sounds good.
And we could make one up.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of it.
That sounds very good. I like someone to check at least at first before I'm comfortable to check my work. Okay.
I think it's a good idea, but I was the only person doing it, so I never made a QA. Like with enrollment, I have a pretty good QA process now.
Okay, so 1 second. Make a folder for enrollment cap estimated. John sign. Okay, I'll make it nice. I'll make a little box for you, and we'll figure out, how to check off, so that we'll quickly take a look. And okay, that sounds good. I'll do that.
Yep, actually, it sounds like if you added some columns over on the right side of the table in the data input, then I could have a little checkbox if you added a new column there that just says QA. And I would go, but the difference is we'd have a QA at base matrix, we'd have a QA at enrollment, we'd have a QA at PSR, and we'd have a QA at SD. So there would be 4 columns. Now, if you want to make it nicer, don't do anything yet.
Right.
If you want to insert those QA columns like next to where the data goes in, that's the better way to do it. Let's not do it till this report is done.
Yeah.
Because when you add those columns, all the formulas that look at this table have to be updated.
Right.
And so that means we'd have to go in, and it's not hard. It would actually be a really good exercise for you to totally understand how this whole thing works.
Okay.
But let's get this report done. And so what I would suggest is here's how I go about it. And then don't take notes yet. We'll talk about this again. But my initial thoughts are, let's say I'm going to do the enrollment.
Yes.
Right? And so I want to add a column with a checkbox for me to sign off on it. Or maybe it's just a date or whatever it is, but something simple so I check off on it.
Yeah.
You would insert that column table.
Right.
You do it in a table. Once you do that, every column to the right is going to shift over by 1. And so every one of your value lookup formulas that referenced, say, column 13, it now has to reference column 14.
I understand, sure.
But if you do enrollment first and then go to your enrollment feeds, then you go ahead and do PSR, and then you go to your PSR feeds.
Yeah.
Then you do SD. You can do it in a very systematic way where you can be confident you've corrected all the formulas.
Sure.
And so we can do that later, but that's a really good idea.
Okay.
Because we don't have anything like that.
Sounds good.
And so go to chart info.
Okay.
And so we have here March 2, you have the final audit savings, so we have to add that in.
Okay. Yeah, let me find, I did have this open. 1 second. Where is my spreadsheet? That's, okay, let me close this one. Close. Now, this, what is this one? Okay, that's that. That's, okay, got it. Okay, so, hold on, let me see. Oops. Okay, so, okay, John, can you see? So I have my
I can see both of them, yep.
You probably want to, oops, bigger. Okay, so show me. So
no, I can see the numbers, so you just got to scroll all the way to the right in this table.
Okay.
Nope, the other way.
Oh, to the right. Okay.
See the number down there, 1.882?
Yes.
That's the additional savings in final audit. That's the number that goes into this table.
I see. Okay, audit. So it's over here, right?
Yep. And it's the March board, so it goes in there.
Okay, 1 sec. I lost it. Okay, so that's the number. Okay.
Done. That's all you got to do for this chart is just input that number.
Yeah.
Now, there's one other thing I want to explain, and you don't have to highlight anything yellow in the other chart. The only other thing I want to explain is I sent you that email from the tax revenues that said tax revenues for January were like 8% higher or something. They had some number. The only thing that matters.
Let me open that email because I want to understand. 1 second. AGC Smart. Okay. Okay. Now, so explain. Okay, so this is what you sent.
Yep. So it says actual. So it's like the fourth line. Actual fiscal year 22 year-to-date collections are 50.29. For January, it's the next line. It's the smart collections that matter to us.
Okay.
Smart collections blank were 6.43 higher than benchmark.
6.731.
No.
Higher.
Hold on, let me read all the lines. Annual January collections were 10.7%. Annual year-to-date collections are 8.3% higher. January smart for a December 22 benchmark. So the one that matters is actual fiscal year to date. It's collections are 50.295 million higher. This is the number that's important. It says 8.32% higher than actual fiscal year 21 calculations. That number informs what we would estimate for going forward for our cap space. So the important thing is it's bigger than 4.5.
Okay.
That's all that matters because it's bigger than 4.5. So now our cap space is going to grow by 4.5% this fiscal year. So the
Our
cap space
will be bigger, so we'll increase our cap space.
Correct.
By 4.5%.
Because that's the upper limit that's allowed for in the legislation.
I see.
So now with that information, you can go back to the cap report.
Okay, now I go back to cap report here, okay.
And if you look under column R, you can see under growth that I am forecasting a 4.5% growth going forward.
Yes.
So when I would send Mary an email, so I'm going to send her, you're going to send her an email. I'll take a look at it if you want me to before the first time you send it.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, basically, Mary, here's the updated cap report for the March board. It captures updates from the December board as well. Cap space growth, and then I would put that line in from the finance, you know, that line that we read year to date, that whole line that was from the finance email.
Yes, so this cap report for March, right? That's for March. Includes December.
Updates.
Right? Update.
Yep.
Okay. And what should I include?
And I would say, so I would make this statement. The grant cap space growth is forecasted, is projected, that the growth cap rate projection is 4.5%. Or the grant cap space is projected to grow by 4.5% going forward. That's the statement I would use.